Good morning, YouTube. We've got a lot of comments on the should your duty gun be drop safe video. Let's go through and take the comments. First one, the fact that this is news to people highlights the hype beast consumerist problem. So there's a lot of people in the comments on the staccato drop test saying like, well, hey, this is known. This is a known thing that if you drop it on the muzzle, or I suppose on the hammer as well, it'll go off. Like, that's a thing. And that's true. That's been out there. I think Staccato was saying that the gun is drop safe. I think they were saying that, which might have brought some confusion. I don't know. Okay, next comment. Literally seen guys not pay bills to buy these guns and carry them all the time. Glad I didn't ever buy one. Understand that Staccato is watching this for sure. If the P-Ben wasn't drop safe, you bet it will be before it gets shipped out. I don't know about that. I don't think they're going to change the design on account of me. But that, I am wanting my P. I want the backup for my XC is what I really want. One guy says, it's a gun. It's not safe. Not sure why you people are upset. And that's awesome. On the marketing comment, this is a huge legal liability. Marketing a gun for duty use, one could assume or perceive it would be drop safe. Marketing is a dangerous game for firearms manufacturers. Just look at how Bushmaster marketed their ARs, and we lost in the courts against the families of Sandy Hook. I don't know the specifics of the Bushmaster thing, but as far as the way the Staccato stuff is marketed, here, if I just click around on their website, it'll say Staccato XC duty / competition. Yeah, competition, Staccato XL. Duty and competition, Staccato XC. Duty, Staccato P. I don't know. That's what it says. So, I guess. All right. Boy, it would suck if there is a bid or email with LEO somewhere that has a Staccato rep claiming the guns to be drop safe. I would be surprised if such a thing does not exist, sir. One guy says, does the P model have the same firing group or is it different? A guy replied, same. I believe it's the same, just with the pull weight set heavier. I believe it's the same, though. I'm certainly happy to take my... Assuming they send it to me, don't cancel my order, I'm happy to take my expensive Staccato and drop it. One guy says, I think drop test needs to be defined for this to be truly accurate. If you drop the Staccato or any 1911 variant under almost any condition, will it fire? No. So 113 years of data on 1911s to prove this. Will it fire under a very specific test held in a deliberate position from a specific height? Yes. It's interesting that people get worked up about this when statistics prove that the number one way to have an ND is to actuate the trigger on a loaded gun. Yeah, okay. To be fair, the way that I did the test is I held the gun out in front of me, like from standing height, and then pointed it down and dropped it. So it's not like a totally arbitrary height to hold it. It's like the height I would be holding the gun if I was shooting it. I did drop it onto concrete, though. So it's kind of, I suppose, worst case that way. In reference to the comment, how did this get approved by so many LEO agencies? They most likely listen to supposedly good sources of information like primary and secondary, who shilled this bad boy, and early Walther PPQs all day and Sunday without really looking to firearms. I hope not. I hope people don't listen to primary and secondary. I mean, for anything but entertainment. I wouldn't take those guys actually seriously. I read a report from a California state employee years ago that helped with the testing on what guns could be approved for the roster. I'm likely wrong, but I have a suspicion that them making the guns so muzzle heavy is part of the problem. Because this guy was saying for most non-aluminum 1911 single stack, they had to put it into a grip clamp that was attached to a... Jesus, no, I'm not reading any more of that. Great video, Ben. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain a proper sprung 70s series trigger is drop safe from all normal heights. I believe that's true. And I don't know what you mean. Properly sprung is a little bit subjective, but I believe you can spring it so that it will be drop safe. I do believe that. If you're hanging off a 5-story building and complaining about your 1911 not being drop safe, you maybe should consider reevaluating yourself. I question the way Staccato is perhaps not sprung correctly for duty carry, though. Ben stated in the past recoil springs weren't sprung correctly, or at least for the ammo he was shooting. Yeah, no, the staccato, the springs on the XCs are ridiculous. The first video got me to buy a stronger spring and lighter firing pin from the Ben Stoeger Pro Shop of all places, echoing several others that it would be cool to repeat the drop test with a more powerful spring, a lighter firing pin, or both. I know the light pin can introduce... Yeah, a lot of... I did hear from the shop, a lot of people were buying that stuff. I'm not telling anybody to buy that shit. You do what you want. But it was funny. After the drop test video came out, a bunch of people were buying that stuff. that did make me laugh. Unpopular opinion, all guns should be drop safe. I mean, I don't know how unpopular that is. I think it's like everybody likes the idea of the gun being drop safe. Realistically, they want to have a nice trigger, so the firing pin block stuff, they don't love that. And away we go, away we go. The lesson is, don't drop your gun. When people start spending that kind of money on a nice 1911 or 2011, they want a nice 3070 trigger. As far as LEO, probably best to have a drop safe striker fired. Yeah, I know, yuck. Ben, good video and follow-up. Thank you. Thank you. The lack of damage to the finish is the interesting point to me. Me too! Especially with my acidic ball sweat. I mean, hell, I've made Glocks rust repeatedly. My record being from a fresh, clean, and lube to crunchy rust in the locking block under 48 hours. Yeah. Being real, like the coating on the staccatos, I believe it is excellent. At least it's excellent on the one I have. If they do send me the P I ordered, I'll check out the coating on that too. I do think the coating is the star of the show. Like, I've been shooting a long time, man, and the staccato coating is, it's very good. It's very good. I read about the tragic incident in New York about the Shadow 2 that fell and killed the range officer. Although I don't know the circumstances, and I think it was pretty benign. I think it was just during the make ready. I don't know the circumstances. There's a video of a guy testing a Shadow 2 where he hits the decocked hammer with a rubber mallet. Yes. Gun fires with an aftermarket extended firing pin, but does not fire with a factory pin. From the test, it seems like using the factory pin with presumably factory firing pin springs makes the gun more drop safe. Yeah, and that's an interesting thing to think about, too. You might get a gun from the factory that is drop safe, and then people modify it until it's not. I talked about another issue at a USPSA match. I don't think I talked about this recently, but I think 3 or 4 years ago at Area 5, this guy a lot of things went wrong. He was like running like a wild man, like a dumbass, trips, falls, drops his gun, and the gun's pointed like to the next range there. Gun hits the ground, goes off, and fires a round that narrowly misses people. So it is an interesting idea. I mean, if we're looking at this type of stuff for safety, it's like there's actually been a dude killed at a USPSA match with a gun that is not drop safe. People modify their guns all the time to get them to be not drop safe. Like, it is an interesting issue, and one that actually matters as far as people's safety, like what is allowed, what should be allowed. Because right now it's just kind of, you do whatever. I mean, that's basically what happens now at USPSA matches. Which, I mean, I'm fine going to participate in them, but if you want me to pretend like it's as safe as it could be, it's like, with that, like that issue, the drop gun issue is an interesting one. Staccato has just canceled your P-order. Oh, I would kind of hope not. Actually, it would be fine. I could drag them online and then just buy a used P cheaper from somewhere else, So it wouldn't be the end of the world, and I could still shoot the P and talk about the P. It wouldn't be all that bad. Striker Fire Bros are the new church ladies. I don't know what that means, but I like it. I like attacking the Striker Fired Bros. Seeing as how a USPSA competitor was killed by a dropped CZ Shadow 2, I'd say that not only should duty guns be drop safe, but so should competition guns. I mean, yeah, that's fair. You're running around with it. It's just like, I'm comfortable taking my Staccato to the range and shooting it. Like, I'm comfortable with that, but not necessarily, not necessarily everybody would feel that way. You can repeat the drop test 100% of the time with any Series 70, but the real-life probability of the weapon landing exactly in its muzzle 100% of the time, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. And I think the really dangerous thing would be dropping it on the hammer. So if you drop it, it goes on the hammer. Obviously, the bullet's coming out this way. I would be more worried about that. I think that is what happened with the Shadow 2 situation in New York. Your instructional content is amazing and invaluable. It's very sad the staccato, tactical BS keywords pull a larger audience than the important shooting fundamentals content. Please continue appealing to the audience that wishes to improve their shooting as you've done so far. Yeah, that's good. The drama is a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie, dude. I'm not going to lie. Drama is fun. And this is good. When you read through the comments on the videos like this, there's a lot of people that have interesting perspectives as well, like stuff you maybe didn't consider, or people that have a lot of technical information, that kind of stuff. Let's take one more comment. The only reason the XC could even be considered a duty gun is because they market it as such. I don't think anyone would look at a gun like that and go, yeah, that's a duty gun. That's a race gun they're trying to sell as a duty gun. And there it is. There it is. It's a fair comment. It really is. I got no problem with that. Well, we'll see what happens with this. I think I'll drop test the P when I get it. I don't know that I want to talk about this drop test anymore. But maybe there'll be some interesting stuff in the comments on this video. You never do know. Next step with the staccato, get the P. And I'll tease this. There's something very strange, well, a little strange for me, that I ordered with the P that I didn't tell people about. But I changed something. Good luck guessing what that is, but I'll be revealing all when I get the gun.